Hi, my name's Phil. I like talking about politics, and in this video, the second in a sort of litigation double bill this week, I'd like to discuss something brewing between Good Law Project and the Daily Mail. Good Law Project say they're working to uncover a star writer for the Mail who they believe has been a sexual predator for some time, but whose activities are being covered up by the newspaper. Now, the Daily Mail are effectively countersuing Good Law Project over this, so another newspaper getting involved in what could well be a high-profile litigation battle, just as with the Sun recently, and if they're in the wrong here, ooh, that could blow up. But first, for daily political commentary, please hit the subscribe button to stay notified. So before I go over the details of this case, let us first of all consider the Daily Mail. A long-standing mainstream newspaper, so no doubt filled with very clever professionals who would never be so stupid as to leave themselves open to accusations of covering up for a sexual predator. So let's kick off with something which is seemingly unrelated, but actually, for that reason, quite relevant. The Daily Mail have been whining about a change of images at Downing Street with Keir Starmer installed, right? This is all normal, by the way. 10 Downing Street, like literally every head of government building in the world, has images of past political leaders. Some heads of government are bigger fans of some than others, and it's standard practice to swap them around when a new government comes in. But the Daily Mail had a problem with the apparent relegation of William Gladstone and Oliver Cromwell from the first team with Starmer in. Unfortunately, they described William Gladstone as a Conservative Prime Minister when he was actually the leader of the party who opposed the Conservatives at the time, the Liberal Party. And then they thought that Downing Street was removing photographs of Oliver Cromwell. He died in the mid-17th century. Photographs weren't a thing then. And while they were making fools of themselves, they also described a 6-foot sculpture as a picture. Maybe they should do like the Daily Express and get AI to write their articles. Some of the photos may give Donald Trump an extra leg, but at least the writing will make more sense. So if when I go over the details of this case, if you're thinking, what's the relevance of this, Phil? If when I go over the details of this case, you base your thinking on the assumption that the Daily Mail have a good eye for detail and can do basic research and won't do anything stupid, you may need to reevaluate your assumptions. But anyway, let's go over this claim by Good Law Project. I came across the general campaign not long ago, but now that the Daily Mail are trying to kill it before it gets started, it's suddenly become newsworthy. Good Law Project have been running a crowdfunder for someone who says he was sexually assaulted by a star writer at the Daily Mail. Good Law Project claims that they have information that the Daily Mail were made aware of the allegations, as well as similar allegations from at least one other man who claimed to be a victim. Further, they're claiming that it's pretty much an open secret. So as with Jimmy Savile and similar predators, the implication is lots of people in the industry know about it and are keeping quiet because, you know, powerful people or those valued by powerful people will wreck your career if you step out of line. The details in the Good Law Project crowdfunder suggest that the Daily Mail conducted their own investigation of the allegations, but that investigation did not include even interviewing the alleged victim. Now, if true, that would obviously be a pretty clear-cut sign that not only did the newspaper not take the allegations seriously, but couldn't even be bothered to give the impression they were taking it seriously. Even if you were to run a sham investigation, you would still go through the basic motions so that you can produce documentation later on that shows, oh no, we did all this, you see, all the boxes were ticked. So if this is true, evidence that the Daily Mail were indeed covering for a senior writer. In fact, Good Law Project have made the point that the same has happened with predators working for other outlets. Their first reaction, cover up, rather than investigate. In fact, as they also point out, the Daily Mail had absolutely no problems in attacking the BBC for covering up for Greg Wallace recently. So it would be more than a little hypocritical if they, at the exact same time, were covering up for one of their own, arguably more abusive behaviour, but we'll find the details later on, I suppose. Good Law Project aim to help the alleged victim fight the tribunal case and expose the identity of the alleged predator. The Daily Mail seem to want to play as well. They have instructed lawyers to threaten Good Law Project with legal action in return. Now, I'm not a legal expert, but let's consider what the Daily Mail's beef could possibly be. So let us assume, we'll have a working assumption that the Daily Mail are not knowingly protecting a sex pest and that they did carry out an investigation properly, right? Let's assume that. What are the Good Law Project doing? They are representing the alleged victim in tribunal. Nothing wrong with this. People take large businesses to court all the time. It's not normal practice to try to threaten the opposing lawyers as part of the process. Secondly, Good Law Project are publicly claiming that the Daily Mail are covering for a predator. Now, given that they are lawyers, this is also fine. They are allowed to publicly discuss a case which is taking place in public anyway. Again, this sort of thing happens all the time. It's not clear why the Daily Mail are behaving like this if they're in the clear. The fact that they're even threatening Good Law Project's lawyers or writing to say you need to drop this is not normal behaviour in a case like this. They have faced plenty of cases against them in their time of one form or another, and if they think they're on top of their legal obligations, should just need to go through the process, come out the other side claiming a win, even if they want to even comment on it at all. So what they seem to be doing here is going, oh, that Barbara Streisand, she was a strategic genius, let's copy her. I'll tell you what it's reminiscent of. You see, remember when tax lawyer Dan Needle was reporting in Nadim Zahawi's little tax problems in the summer of 2022, and Zahawi got his lawyers to threaten Needle. Well, Needle didn't back down. He was vindicated when Zahawi was found guilty of not paying millions in taxes, and Zahawi's lawyer was recently censured for unprofessional misconduct. Now, I'm not suggesting the Daily Mail's lawyers are being unprofessional here, by the way. They're not being threatening to that extent. There's no claim that they are acting improperly. But it's one of those things where a normal legal process is taking place and one lawyer tells another lawyer to desist. It just looks weird because that isn't normal. Like, there's no good reason to do it. Unless, of course, the Daily Mail not only are protecting a sexual predator, but they know that the potential victim can't afford to fight the case themselves, and so they are threatening anyone who can help fund it for them. And also it would have to mean that they think there's strong enough evidence to prove it, because it doesn't matter whether the alleged victim is a real victim or not. Can they prove it? The proof is crucial. The burden of proof is on the alleged victim, as always. And although Good Law Projects do not always win, they will absolutely test things out, sure. And so sometimes they will fail to convince a court, or they may, win one point and not the overall point. They may, for example, be able to demonstrate through this tribunal that the Daily Mail did not carry out a proper investigation, but otherwise not be able to prove the main points. But that they have taken this one up suggests that they think there is enough evidence for a realistic prospect. So they think they've got more than just one person's word against another. Otherwise, any lawyer would advise you, even if you had the money to pay the lawyer yourself, the lawyer would still advise you, your evidence is weak. We can take the case up for you, but your evidence is weak, right? If it's been described as an open secret, do they have lots of witness accounts? Good Law Projects say they want the alleged offender named. Now, if these offences are real and they go back over a decade, then of course, if that happens, there's a chance that other victims could come forward, turning this into a major scandal. So the stakes would be quite high for the Mail, but only if it's true. If the allegations are vexatious, then there can be no possibility of lots of victims coming forward because there wouldn't be victims. This is all looking very dodgy for the Mail. But there we are. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. If you've enjoyed the video, please click the like button and subscribe for further content. If you'd like to support the channel further, you click the join button for memberships. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.